So you're in Chengdu and you don't know what to do? Come with me. I'll show you. Welcome to Wangjianglou Park. This is one of my favorite places in Chengdu, and it's a place I've wanted to cover for a very, very long time because this is a place that I've been to a lot. This is hands down my favorite park in Chengdu. And in this episode, my first episode of the rebooted What to Do series, we are going to talk about what you can do here, how you can get here, how much it costs to get, or if it even costs anything. We're going to cover all the different aspects of this park. So let's go check it out. Let's do it. One of the things I really like about this park is this right here, this kind of natural archway that you see whenever you come in through the north gate of the park. There are 3 gates to the park, and the north gate, the main gate, is one you have to pay for. You have to pay 20 yuan to get into the park, and we'll talk about why in a minute. But when you walk in through this gate, you see this huge kind of natural archway. You can see these people right here and how big the archway is, and it's quite striking. It's quite beautiful. I really like it. It leaves a good first impression in your mind when you come visit this place. The reason you have to pay for this particular entrance is because this is where the Wangjianglou is, the Wangjiang building. It's a historic building, and we're going to go check it out to see where the name of this park comes from and why you have to pay and why this is historic. So let's get to it. Let's go. Wangjianglou Park is located in southeastern Chengdu in between Sichuan University's southern and eastern gates. It's a beautiful, quiet little park with amazing architecture and historical meaning, and it actually gets its name from the phrase Wangjiang, which means to look at the river. But it's also become sort of a bamboo preservation park because there are almost 300 types of bamboo in this park, and we'll talk about that later. But let's get on to the park's namesake. Like I said before, the park has 2 sections. There is a paid section and there is a free section. The free section is by far the bigger one, but the paid section is for this right here, along with a collection of buildings that kind of form a central square. So we're going to go through all of these buildings and kind of talk about what they're for. But we're going to start with the Wangjianglou, and this is actually why the park has got its name. Let's do that. Now, the Wangjianglou, also called the Chongli Pavilion, was actually built during the Qing dynasty in order to help more people pass the imperial examinations. Actually, there weren't many people from Chengdu who succeeded in the imperial examinations, so they built this in order to change their fortunes, and guess what? It actually worked. They did see a change in the fortune in this imperial examination. Many, many more successful candidates came through Chengdu. It's about 30 meters tall. It overlooks the river, and on the first floor there's actually one of the 3 longest couplets in China. There's supposed to be 2 of them, but the other one has been lost to time and history, although we know there was another one. And that's where the park gets its name from, the Wangjianglou, the Wangjiang Chongli Pavilion. It is the centerpiece of this area of the park. Directly behind me is the Georgian Pavilion, and the Georgian Pavilion was built during the Qing dynasty to commemorate the history of this particular spot. This spot, way back in the day, used to be a wharf, a dock where people would get on and off the boats as they were going about their various things in the city. And one of the things that happened here was a famous poet during the Tang dynasty called Xue Tao. She was, well, a poetess, as you see written around this places because she was a lady, of course. And she said goodbye to some of her friends here, and I think later commemorated that moment into a poem or 2. And not only her friends, but also several poets came to see her off as well. So this little pavilion was built to commemorate that moment of history. And there are other things related to Xue Tao in this part of the park, such as the Xue Tao well, which is directly across from me. And that was built because this was a place where actually ancient paper was made, and they used the water from this well as part of the paper making process. And it was a really heavily guarded secret how this paper was made, and so it was a heavily guarded well all the time. And there is a pavilion right next to that well where you can actually see a little bit of how the paper making process happened. You can get a little insight into that process. So that's a really cool little bit of history as well in this little square. And these little bits of history, these little pieces of history are one reason why I like this park and one reason why this particular section of the park is paid, because they want to keep it up, they want to maintain it, make sure everything is really good. And now we've made it to the free, public, open section of the park. And in my mind, this is where it's at, because this is where you can see the scale of the bamboo. This is where you can see all of the quiet little pathways that you can find. You can see the lake, you can see other different types of pavilions and pagodas. You can see other sections of this park and kind of get away from kind of the tourists taking pictures and be with the local people. This is the section that I really like. You can get a little slice of Chengdu life here. You can see people drinking tea, doing Tai Chi, playing Mahjong, doing all of these things, just having walks with their families and just hanging out for the day. And that's what I really want to see. I want to see a little bit of the local life, not just tourists taking pictures of famous historical places. I mean, that's good and everything, but for a place that I come back to every now and then and revisit, this is what I'm really into. In this section of the park, you can really see the bamboo taking over because, like I said before, there's over 200 types of bamboo, 270 or something types of bamboo here. It's absolutely crazy. You'll see little signs for it everywhere, and you can see how big it is. It's just kind of taken over, and that's something I really enjoy here. Now, as far as getting to the park itself is concerned, you can take one of these 3 buses right here and figure out the route yourself, or you can get on Google Maps and check various types of transportation to get there, or you can just flag down any passing taxi and just say Wangjianglou Gongyuan, Wangjianglou Gongyuan, and you'll get there. That's all there is to it. So you're in Chengdu, and now you've got something to do. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Thank you all very, very much for watching this episode of Chengdu What to Do. And remember, I'm not the only one doing this particular series. Please click on any of these 3 links right here and watch some of the other people in their cities as they show you what to do. Thanks again. See you all next time.